there, Grateful Gang. This is Lauren Blanchard-Zaleski, and welcome to Gratefully Living the Chronic Life. I come to you each week with new topics pertaining to, most of the time, gratitude, but always topics that help us live with joy, intention, and gratitude in a very perfectly imperfect world. So thank you for being here. If you've never watched before, it's a very informal broadcast, and we encourage like a town hall interactive atmosphere. So please feel free to add in any questions or comments you might have. We have an awesome, and really fun episode tonight. My guest is Dr. Katherine Puckett from the Oasis Process, and she's a certified laughter leader. It's actually a career that she has, and she's got some great, great wisdom and stories to share with us all about laughter being the best medicine. And I'm sure there's a person out there watching right now that doesn't realize how powerful of a healer that laughter can be. A lot of my broadcasts are tailored to living with chronic pain and illness. I've lived with chronic pain and illness myself for over 20 years. And I have a group on Facebook called Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. If you're not a member, you can find us on Facebook. We are about 7 years old, and we are closing in on 7,000 members. And what makes us unique is that we are, believe it or not, we're a no complaining group, which isn't for everybody, but there's a million chronic pain groups out there where you can share specifics of your conditions, and they're very, very important. This group that we have is really as a way to escape, as an oasis, actually. Speaking of the Oasis Process from Dr. Katherine Puckett, but it's a way to kind of walk through, come to a place of acceptance with your chronic condition, and come to a place of finding joy. And we do that through gratitude, intention, mindfulness, and things like that. So if you're not a member, we would love to have you. Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. And for more about me and the group and other things, you can go to my website, which is gratitudeaddict.com. So a few things before I introduce our awesome guest. It's a big day for me. For those of you who may have already seen on Facebook, I came down from taking a shower earlier this afternoon and saw 2 packages on my side doorstep, which is not unusual for my household at all, because I'm kind of an Amazon nut. Like, I order paper towels from Amazon because I don't know, I just do. Actually, now I couldn't find paper towels at Costco last week, so that's why I ordered paper towels from Amazon. But anyway, so there were a couple packages. One I was expecting, the other I was not expecting. And I got my book, I'm going to cry, my very first book came today. And I did not know they were sending it. I did not know it was ready yet. It's being released November 30th. It's the 5-minute, look, I've already got stickies in there. It's the 5-minute gratitude journal for teen boys by Rockridge Press. And gosh, what a surprise it was. I truly didn't expect it. I did videotape it because when I saw the return address that it was my publisher, I thought maybe it was. So I am so humbled to be a part of this. It was really tough work, but it was so challenging in a beautiful way. I'm grateful to Rockridge Press for asking me if I wanted to be a part of it. So November 30th, look, I'm getting all choked up. November 30th, 5-minute gratitude journal for teen boys. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Let me tell you about some episodes I have coming up so I can introduce you to Katherine, because she's just fantastic. Next week, we have another great episode. The team from Mini Meds is going to be with us, Iris Perrin and Suzanne Solensu. They are 2 of the members of the team of Mini Meds. If you are a member of Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, you know them well, because I post their meditations in the group several times a week. What makes them unique is that their meditations, I call breath breaks, are always 5 minutes or less. I post that in the group because I feel strongly about mindfulness and meditation, but I want to make it doable for everybody. And not everybody can sit there and do half an hour, 20 minutes, even 15. So they're going to be with us. So exciting. I just adore them. Oops, what did I just do? Okay. And after that, we have, Linda Graham is going to be on. She has written several books. This one here about resilience. She's fantastic. She's going to be with us. We'll be giving away a free copy of her book as well. And then after that, oh, we've got a whole bunch of great ones. So we've got Mini Meds, Linda Graham, November 11th. She calls herself Dr. Oops. Oh man, I skipped ahead. How do I get back? Okay. Dr. Gratitude. They have a new app called Gratitude where you can record yourself talking about being grateful on video on your phone. It's an awesome new app. So she's going to be on. Dr. Fisha Sirwa is coming back on with us right before Thanksgiving. She was on a couple weeks ago. She's a researcher on gratitude, and she's done some really interesting research on people with chronic pain and illness and procrastination and perfectionism. So I've asked her to come back right before Thanksgiving. December 2nd, we have a music specialist coming on. Today we're talking about laughter is the best medicine. We're talking about music being the best medicine with Gabby Siegel. We're going to be talking about the universal language and the healing powers of music. I met with her this week. She's just phenomenal. And a very good friend of Lacey Mucklow. Those of you who watched our art episode, she was on with us. So she's going to be coming on. And then just 2 days ago, I booked Dr. Kathy Zhang is going to be on. She is a doctor. What the heck kind of doctor? Not palliative care doctor. And she has a podcast called The Purpose Filter. And she has patients who are on their way out of life. So she's got a really, really powerful message. So without further ado, let's get rid of that. I want to bring on today's guest. Dr. Katherine Puckett is with us. Hi, Katherine.
Hey, Lauren. Great to be here with you.
Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
My big joke, everybody that watches me knows I stalk my guests. That's I see something I like and then I stalk them. I did have to stalk Dr. Puckett, but it's through my Aunt Betty. Aunt Betty, I know you're watching. Hello. Aunt Betty texted me. This is my mom's sister, my Aunt Betty. She texted me and said, "You have to have on Dr. Katherine Puckett. I'm reading this book called Life Reimagined by Barbara Bradley Hagerty, and she's a certified laughter leader and certified humor professional." So I looked into her. She sounded awesome, and we hadn't really done an episode on laughter. So excited to have you here. Thank you for being here.
A pleasure again. Yeah.
And thank you, Betty. So we talked when you and I met about how you got on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, and then we're dying to hear how you got into laughter and healing.
Sure. As a profession, I'm a psychotherapist. I have a doctorate in clinical social work and some other degrees too, which don't really matter, but
they do matter.
Well, they're not relevant right now. Yeah. So I had gone to work at Cancer Treatment Centers of America back in the early 2000s. There's a funny story about that in itself. I don't even have to go there, but I ended up working there. And as the director of mind-body medicine. And when I came in, it was a counseling department, small department, and offered some meditation, a little bit of mindfulness and counseling, and that was it. And then over the years, I added in other services. So I had only been there probably 2 years at the most, maybe less, when one of our patients who was there for a month, she was from out of state, but she came to get radiation treatment. And treatment is 10, 15 minutes a day, and then you have all this time free. So yeah. She had said to us, "You guys need some fun around here." So she printed out this stack, literally this big stack of information from the internet about therapeutic humor and laughter, walked it into the hospital, handed it off and said, "You guys need to do something with this." And it fell to me to do something with it.
And you had never really done anything like that before?
No. And you know what? This was a cancer treatment hospital. In my view, it was a serious place,
right.
Doing serious work, taking care of people with serious illness. And the idea of offering a humor and laughter program there made me really uneasy. First of all, I've always thought I had a good sense of humor, but I've also always been kind of a serious person. And I just didn't realize that might mix with what we were doing in a cancer hospital. Mm-hmm. But we always wanted to honor our patient's requests. So I thought, well, I got to do something with this because she asked for it. So started reading what she brought us, started watching a few things. I'll never forget one of the early days of some of my staff members and I were sitting around in the office, having looked at this a little bit, and we said, "You mean people sit around and they go hee hee, ha ha, ho ho? That's really weird." So, but then we saw a video of a laughter session in action, and it started to make sense. And so I started learning. We began with a humor group, which I have to tell you honestly was pretty lame, but you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So we were searching for material, comic videos and jokes and Mad Libs, and I never realized how hard it would be to find good, clean material, to show in a
Well,
scene like
I
that.
bet. I bet. I
Look
think like
at
trying to find a comedian or something, there really are very few clean ones. Jerry
Right.
Seinfeld, I guess. Yeah.
Right, right. So we limped along. We did our best. The patient who had asked for this came to one of those humor groups, and she said, "It's okay." You could tell she wasn't that enthusiastic. So along this way, two things happened that really were rather life-changing for me. One was on a Friday, the laboratory at our hospital, which had a lot of fun-loving staff in it.
Is that sarcastic or real?
Yeah, I mean, really, it was great. They offered a carnival for staff at the hospital. And I wasn't going to go because, I had serious important work to do as a therapist and
Right.
director of the department. But some of my staff had gone in the morning and said, "It's really fun. You should go." And I thought, what's good relationship building? And I believe in that. And I was curious because they advertised pony rides. How are they doing that in the hospital? So I went. That was one of my staff members that afternoon.
Pony rides in the hospital.
In the hospital, right, in the lab. So they're in there working, and they have these other things going on at the same time right around them in the lab. And they were offering little prizes for different activities you could do and earn points. So the pony rides were that you could get on a stick horse and ride around the inside perimeter of the lab, galloping and neighing, and get 20 points. Or you could get on a stick horse and leave the lab and ride galloping and neighing through the hospital downstairs to the safety officer's office on the first floor. And guess who did it?
I think that's talked about here in this.
I probably did tell her that story
yeah.
because it turned out to be life-changing, and I never expected that. But what I realized, first of all, people are looking at me like, "Katherine Puckett riding a stick horse in the hospital making noise."
I bet that you made their day.
Well, and for many years after that. But anyhow, what it taught me that day, which was so life-changing, was it gave me permission to play. I did not realize that play and work could mix in that way. And I didn't realize that, I just didn't think it belonged there. And I was so wrong, so wrong. So the next day after that carnival, which was really cool. Well, first of all, I'll tell you the next week at Walgreens, they had a sale on stick horses. And I bought a stick horse then named Chuckles.
But of course, who doesn't have a
I have Chuckles with me.
Chuckles.
Like to meet Chuckles. Chuckles, say hello. Actually, Chuckles could even.
He's our mascot.
I won't let him finish speaking, but anyhow. So I had Chuckles
having a sale on stick horses.
So Chuckles came to live with me in 2003, I think, and I still have Chuckles. And I could not count the number of people who've taken rides on Chuckles. We've had so much fun with him for years and years, the whole rest of the time I was at the hospital. Then also the next day after that carnival, carnival's on a Friday, Saturday morning, I had signed up to go to humor and healthcare presentation at Gilda's Club in Chicago. Kind of didn't want to go because first of all, it's my day off. And second of all, I thought they're probably going to want me to be a clown. I'm just not a clown. It's just not, not me. Probably going to want me to wear a red nose or something stupid like that. But I went and I loved it. I don't think I stopped laughing for the 3 hours. It was great. So at the end, I went up to the presenter, who has since then become a lifelong friend, but didn't know him at the time. Said, "I'm trying to start this humor and laughter program at the hospital. Could you help me?" "Of course, I'll help you." We met the next week or two and so forth. And he gave me lots of resources, including where to go and get trained to be a certified laughter leader so I could run laughter programs at the hospital. So within a couple of weeks after that, I was on a plane to North Carolina, got my training. It's 2-day training. Any of you could do it. And came back the next day after I got back. We were scheduled to have our humor group again, but the staff member who was going to run that called in sick, which was a good thing because I thought, I just got back from this training. I guess I could try a laughter group. And I did, and we never ran the humor group again. So much better, so much more
Yeah.
interactive. You don't have to have material that you come in with. It comes from within each of us. We just bring it out. And one other story about that first group that I ran, I'll never forget this. There was an older gentleman who came, because this was by, we put up signs and everything, but people could come if they wanted, and some did, some didn't. This older gentleman shows up and he says, I can hardly tell it without laughing, but he says quite seriously, "Do we have to laugh?" Well, no, sir, you don't, but you may not be able to help it because it's so contagious.
It
And
is.
soon after that, he got into it and really seemed to enjoy himself. The next week, we ran into each other, not literally, but we're coming toward each other in the hallway at the hospital, saw each other, and just burst out laughing. And that's what happens when people have laughed together. It connects them. It's relationship building. It's a wonderful thing. So I'm eternally grateful to
Yeah.
the woman, the patient who got me started on this. I don't know if I ever would have done it otherwise. And it's changed my life in so many ways. The guy at who presented the humor and healthcare presentation, when I went up to him, said, "Could you help me do this? But I don't want to be a clown." He reaches into his pocket and pulls out his clown nose and hands it to me. It wasn't this one, and I'm like, "Oh, brother." But you
Those of
know
you
what?
those of you who have seen the advertisements for this, I told you that I asked Dr. Puckett for headshot for the ad, and she gave me the regular one, and then she gave me this. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So, you know what? I keep a clown nose in my car now, in my bag when I travel, at work. I mean, I just always have one because you just never know if you want to brighten up somebody's day. I
I bet
mean,
it works, right? I
it
mean, you have to just slap that on
it
your nose and you can't
surprises
not laugh.
people. I mean, I don't use it most of the time, but, I mean, there was one day I was pulled up at a stoplight behind a school bus, and, the kids are looking out going, "Well," making faces. So I just reached down my nose and put it on and waved. It's so fun to surprise people.
I
So
bet, I bet.
anyhow, that's how I got started, and, it's a long story, but it's fun, and, it goes from there. So
Yes, in the book here talks about so it's a story. So each of this whole book has like different kind of readings for each day, and yours is on May 7th, pain as a laughing matter. And the author Barbara talks about you and your work with Cancer Treatment Centers of America. And you talk about the 3 laughter centers in the body,
would
right?
you like to experience those?
Yes, we would. I know we all
Do
would.
a
Come
laughter
on,
exercise together. So, I'm used to doing this in a group where I can see and hear people. So I'm going to trust that anybody who's out there watching is going to do this with us. If you are in a space where you don't feel too crazy, making a little noise, if you do, you could do it silently because it's kind of fun to do, silent laughter too. That's a laughter exercise in itself. But let me show you the 3 laughter centers and
Let's do it.
invite you to join me in them. We'll start calmly and then let it explode if we want to. But
Okay.
so yes, did you know you have 3 laughter centers in your body? You've got the he center in your head, the ha center in your heart, stand up, the ho center in your belly, and there's a laughter syllable that goes with each one of those. So the he, ha, ho. So I'm going to invite you all to laugh with me. We're going to put our hands on the part of the body that we're focusing on, and we're going to understand, believe, experience sending healing sound vibrations through our body as we do that. So if you put your hands on your skull and you just start with a gentle he. Can you already feel a little bit of vibration in your skull? I do.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
from the sound. Okay. So imagine if you let it rip. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Pretty fun and pretty contagious. Okay, let's
I
try
was
the
gonna
heart
say,
one.
I'm not gonna be able to do this unprompted, but hearing you made me do it.
It's you know what? Because it's contagious. It's
Yeah.
the best kind of contagion there is.
Isn't that
It's
funny?
really you can't help it.
Yeah.
It's a rare person who can resist this.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Okay. Should we try the next one?
Yes.
So the heart center. Put your hands over your heart. We'll start gently first. Ha, ha, ha,
Ha,
ha,
ha,
ha,
ha,
ha,
ha,
ha, ha. Ready?
ha. did you learn to do that without following somebody? That's tough.
Well, I went to this training, we did it together, and
So
I
for 2
found out
days, 2 days training, we can learn to do.
any of you could become a laughter leader also. One of the websites that I sent you, Lauren, that you'll post at some point,
Yeah.
the World Laughter Tour, they've trained thousands and thousands of laughter leaders in this country and around the world. So worldlaughtertour.com.
Yes, I've got that somewhere.
So we don't have to do it now, but anyhow,
Okay.
so that's the heart center. And then you're going to imagine you can see my hands on my belly.
Okay.
Down here. Yep. So anyhow, that's the ho-ho center. I should have let you guess, but I already told you. So we can start gently first. Ho, 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 ho. Ready? It's just good, clean fun, right? And you can take your mind off just about anything else. And, why do we do this silly stuff? Well, there are actually a lot of health benefits to laughter and humor. And one of the things that happens is that when we're laughing, especially laughing vigorously like that, it can release endorphins, which are the feel-good chemicals that can elevate mood and help ease pain. I'm not going to say it'll get rid of all pain any of it has, but it moves us in that direction. And it can also reduce or suppress cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So it shifts the balance in the hormones. It reduces cortisol, elevates endorphins. So that's one. Sends more oxygen to the brain. So if you're ever having trouble staying awake, or you're losing your concentration, you want to pay attention, or just want to learn something, remember it better, some laughter will send more oxygen to your brain, which helps with learning, memory, creativity, those things.
Really?
It can help. Sorry, did you want to?
No, that's just really interesting.
It is. It can help regulate blood pressure. There's a cardiologist, Michael Miller, who's done some studies on that, written about that. So if you're dealing with high blood pressure, don't laugh, unreasonably hard. But if you get some good hearty laughter, you could start to regulate your blood pressure. So there are just all kinds of health benefits. And then psychologically, many of those too, I mentioned before that it helps connect people with each other. It's a great distraction from things that are difficult, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, just stress over anything. If we can really it's such an in the moment activity. It's a very mindful practice, actually.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Because it's right now. You're
not thinking of anything else.
No, so the brain can't really handle other feelings in the moment when we're laughing. So it could go back to feeling mad or sad later, but in the moment, that's all it's doing.
I tell a story when I know I've shared with you some of my story. I had gone, I was handling my pain in very unhealthy ways. Alcohol became a big part of my life, and I'm very happily over 8 years sober. But I had gone to a rehab which had a chronic pain program, and excuse me, my friend Dr. Bruce Singer he wasn't my friend at the time, but Dr. Bruce Singer ran the program, and he talks about something called black ducks. And black ducks, it's a whole story about why he calls them that, but they're basically things that help you to forget about your pain, even if it's for brief moments. And, I was, as anybody would expect, I was a wreck when I went to rehab. It was by far the scariest thing that I've ever done when my husband dropped me off. And I was so scared and humiliated and just full of despair and misery. And so Dr. Singer's talking about these black ducks, and I had to have a roommate, which I was like, oh my gosh, 40 whatever years old I was at the time. I had a roommate who was 20 years younger than me named Jackie. Hi, Jackie, if you're watching. She turned out to be such a gift, and she was funny as all hell. And she had me laughing, and I was actually forgetting about how miserable I was. And Dr. Singer had said, that's, black duck moment for you. We laughed and we laughed and we laughed, and we were so silly and stupid, but it helped me so, so much.
Yes. Yeah. It's everything you said. You just gave real life examples of exactly how it can be applied and how it can be so helpful.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And, same with cancer, where I was working before, it's like, I didn't realize that could be appropriate in a serious cancer
Well,
hospital.
yeah, I guess if you don't live with cancer, you think like, "Ooh, I've gotta, like, tiptoe around them and not be funny," but I'm sure it was such a welcome release for them.
Welcome relief. I mean, people would say things like, "Oh, that felt good. We hadn't laughed in months," or "I hadn't ever laughed since I got my diagnosis," or, there was one really poignant, experience with an 8-year-old girl who came. Her mom was in the hospital inpatient nearing end of life, and she and her 2 teenage siblings came to laughter group, and, one of my staff was running that and told the story afterwards of this 8-year-old girl who said at the end, "I didn't know when you're feeling really sad, you could laugh and feel better. I'm gonna keep doing that."
Oh,
So moving, so
that
moving,
is
you
that
know?
is
So there's endless applications to
yeah.
how we can use that, and
I know when we have our live chats in the group, and I see there's a whole bunch of comments coming in
uh,
that we will get to. You're touching a nerve with people who love
great.
to laugh and the healing. But we often say when we're going through something difficult, you can either laugh or you can cry, right? And both are such a welcome release. Laughter's more fun.
Well, sometimes we laugh till we cry, though.
True, true.
I mean, who hasn't done that? I mean,
Yeah,
I bet you every one of us
yeah.
here has. That's not so bad.
Yeah, because life is ridiculous. These things happen, whether it's an illness or something else that's devastating in our lives, or even just life's, simple day-to-day problems. Laughter is such a gift, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it really is the best medicine, not to sound like a cliche, but it
But
really is.
well, but there's reason why people say that.
Yep.
By the way, that, the 3 laughter centers that we just did, I was running a laughter group with patients at the hospital once, and, we were standing, moving around, and there was one woman who just seemed particularly antsy, and, I didn't think much of it, and after we did the 3 laughter centers, she said, "There's a 4th one. It's the PP center." And she put her hands over her crotch and goes racing off to the bathroom and said, "I gotta
That
go."
would be me. That would totally be
I
me.
mean,
I've
you
got that
know
center too.
yeah, don't we all? And, sometimes people talk about laughing till the tears run down their legs. I mean, it's silliness, and it's just you just have some good, clean fun with it, right?
For sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Let's get to some comments.
sure.
Um, I'm seeing a whole lot of on my end Facebook user come in. If you're watching from inside the group and you don't grant StreamYard permission, they can't use your name and likeness. So you can either log out and log back in if you're watching from inside Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, or you can watch this on my public Facebook page or YouTube, and you don't have to worry about signing in then, because I'm seeing a whole bunch of you guys, Facebook users. Hello, thank you for watching. Hey, Linda. Christina Wong Kanemoto's here. Hello. Robin Davis, and you have it full of tabs already. My new book. I assume you're
Oh,
talking about. Hey, Robin. Is there? Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, bunch of claps. Thank you, Seton. I appreciate it. A bunch of congratulations. Thank you, guys.
awesome, you got your book today of all
I
this.
can't
Great.
believe it was such a surprise.
So great.
Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Somebody said we lost audio. Hopefully we have it back. It's good to have fun, says Robin. Absolutely. We knew this was going to come up. Have you seen the movie Patch Adams?
I don't think I have, although I may have watched it many years ago. If not, I need to do it soon, right? Can catch up with.
I meant to watch it before our episode, and I didn't get a chance to. I know
Yeah.
Robin Williams was in it. I know he's a real life doctor who made.
Yeah. As I think about it, I did watch it. It's been a long time, though, because I do remember seeing Robin Williams going room to room. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. And that poor man, he really suffered with mental illness.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
My Aunt Maureen's here. Hello, Aunt Maureen. That's Aunt Betty's sister and my mother's sister.
Awesome.
Worldoflaughtertour.com. We've got that one up there. I will give you guys all these links that Dr. Puckett is giving us at the end of the episode. John Adamson's here from Australia. Laughter is as important as love for a healthy life. For sure.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that.
I went to Laughing Yoga a few weeks ago, first time online, and I had no idea what I walked into. Now it makes more sense. Very cool.
Yes, that's essentially, there's 2 streams. There's the Laughter Club from the World Laughter Tour in the US. There's Laughter Yoga, which started with Dr. Madan Kataria in India.
Oh, really?
Virtually the same. There are a lot of similarities. So if you went to one, it's like going to either one, really. Yeah.
Heidi, I thought the same thing as Santa Claus with the big belly going ho ho for sure.
Yeah.
Your story reminds her of the movie Patch Adams starring Robin Williams. Best movie ever. Watching him working in the hospital, making all the patients laugh and different. Yeah, that is you. That is exactly what you were doing.
Yeah.
One Facebook user says, my dog is looking at her like she's nuts.
True. That's fine. I'm looking for something, another prop I had.
Mary said, my husband is looking at me like, what are you doing? I love it. I bet you made him laugh. Well, if it's our husbands, they may just think we're nuts anyway. In the moment. I bet that's Jill Cook. That must be you, Jill Cook. That sounds like something you would say. Oh, her husband did not react at all. Yep. Rob, thank you so much for this. You're welcome. Love the laughter center exercises, says Shannon. And one more, Christina says, this is a good thing to do outside of the home because my teens think I'm too cringy these days. Yeah, teens do, don't they?
Get them to do it with you.
Good point. Should, for sure. Teens don't laugh. Well, a lot of us don't laugh a lot. It seems like, and it feels like, and you're the expert. It seems like we all, we don't have as much fun as we should, right? We need to allow ourselves to have more fun, lighten up, don't take ourselves so seriously, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's I think Steve Wilson says this, and maybe other people too from the World Laughter Tour. The point is to lighten up, not tighten up. And I'm thinking, especially people living with pain, there's so much muscle tension and tightness with pain. I know that from myself, living with some skeletal pain. I mean, I've joked about it so many times to people. It's like, I'm really healthy. I just need a new skeleton, it's like,
that's all.
But yes, lighten up instead of tighten up. And laughter, even smiling, even if you're not laughing. And I actually was going to show you a fun little thing you could do if you're having trouble lightening up. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this with a straw. You could do it with your finger or with a pen too, but this is an assistive device to help change your mood. And it's here to help you smile. And to hold a smile for 30 to 60 seconds because, I've done it with pens and I'm kind of There's actually science behind this. What happens is that when we smile, after 30 to 60 seconds of holding a smile, it changes our brain chemistry.
I've heard that.
Because the brain believes that we're happy because we're smiling. So you could smile and keep holding it for a long time. It just makes it easier.
That's a good idea. I've heard the half smile thing before. I forget if it's like John Kabat-Zinn maybe said it once or whatever, but I have a hard time, like if I'm not smiling, I have a hard time just putting a half smile on my face, but the pencil helped. It really did.
There was a woman once who came to the laughter group at the hospital. Actually, she came many times, but we had done the straw thing one time. And I saw her getting off the elevator a few days later. And all she said to me, and I knew exactly what she meant, she said, a banana works too. Kind of a bigger than a straw. So, yeah. I mean, and there's so much stuff. I mean, and you don't have to have clown noses. They're easy to find. I've kind of enjoyed having.
Are they easy to find? Where are they easy?
Oh, you know what? The one I'm wearing now or have now came from Walgreens.
Don't they have like
Red Nose
Day in the UK?
But you can buy cheap dozens of them from the Oriental Trading. I mean, I buy them by the dozen. I have bags of them.
Maybe I should get those as prizes to give out during our episode.
Yes.
I'm actually kind of serious. That would be funny.
Seriously funny, Lauren. That's great. Yeah.
And
then there's even some laughter. Now, this may be obnoxious. Sorry if it is, but
that's great.
So, this is called a laughter pill. It'll stop soon. The tag that comes on it is a small print. Let's see. Side effects: excessive happiness, contagious laughter, accompanied with a sore stomach and tears. So
I like
on this pill. That's
that's a good idea too.
Yeah. And then there's always stickers. I mean, these are Oriental Trading also. I mean, these smiley face stickers, or there's some from the World Laughter Tour. Yeah, I don't know if you can see these. I would rather be laughing.
Yeah.
Always look for the funny. Every laugh matters. I mean, there's so much fun stuff that you can have just for little prompts or primers. And, for all of us, I think to have kind of a go-to supply of whatever brings you joy and laughter.
Yeah.
Some cartoons. I mean, I love a lot of the New Yorker cartoons, not all of them, but there's some good ones. Um, of just so many things. If there's a list of, videos that make you laugh, just make sure that you know those, or
Have your go-to movies, right?
go-to movies.
Movies that always make you laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of have it's almost like an emergency kit, like a laughter emergency kit. You can have some toys, and if you don't have anything handy like that, just listen online, babies laughing, kids laughing, or watch in real life. If you have a chance to watch kids playing or young animals playing, especially.
Oh yeah,
So many. They're just hard to resist, aren't they? At least for me. They're so cute.
Yeah.
They just make me laugh. And when we laugh and smile, we're taking our minds off the troubles, the physical pains, the emotional pains, the whatever.
I think a lot of people that live with any kind of pain or illness, I think a lot of us feel like we can't allow ourselves to laugh because then we're admitting that we're saying that we aren't in pain. I don't do that any longer, but I know I used to, especially if it was in front of people. I would think, well, they're going to think I'm not in pain if I am having fun or laugh. Now I know it's a very important self-care thing, and I don't really care if people think I'm in pain or not.
Yeah.
I know my truth, but I think a lot of people we feel like we can't allow ourselves to have fun, and I think having fun is just so important. I love. My best friend passed away a year ago, March, and we were just silly and stupid together.
Yep.
We went on all sorts of adventures, and she actually posted them all on Facebook, which I'm really grateful for. But we were like, we went to hibachi in our pajamas, we're really stupid. But I look back on those memories, and they were just fun.
Some of the best memories you have, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yes, allow ourselves to play. I mean, that riding the stick horse through the hospital was, like I said, such an important lesson for me about giving myself permission to play.
Yeah.
And there's a quote that I actually love from George Bernard Shaw. I'm going to just make sure sometimes I say this backwards. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
So true.
So true. We are never too old. We are never too sick. We're never whatever to play. In one of those early laughter sessions that I ran at the hospital, there was a guy who came and he told a story, very moving, poignant story, but he had gone to visit a close friend of his from high school. And this was probably a guy in his 60s at least, but they'd been close friends ever since high school. And his friend was nearing end of life. And he had gone to visit his friend, and they sat in the friend's bedroom and told stories and laughed and laughed and laughed, had a great time. So he's on his way out, and the friend's wife was very offended and said, well, why were you laughing? Don't you know he's nearing end of life? It's like, yeah, that was what the dying man wanted, like and have some happy memories and feel fun, remember the fun, feel joy again. That joy is just, and if it's not laughing, it can be a smile, like this, put the smile on your face, change your chemistry, which reminds me of the quote from Thich Nhat Hanh that you and I looked at together.
Yes.
Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile. Sometimes your smile is the source of your joy.
I love that. I love Thich Nhat Hanh.
Yeah.
Such a wise
man.
Yeah. There's a similar quote about gratitude as well, from Dr. Brother David Steindl-Raz. Something about it's not joy that makes us grateful. It's not joy that brings us gratitude. It's gratitude that brings us joy. Very similar.
Yes.
To that quote. But you're right about aging people. Like my parents are 77, 78. They still play golf almost every day of the week. They just recently took up bocce. And I look at other people their age who don't really do anything, and they just seem so much older.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that you are helping so many people. Look, Aunt Betty's here. It's Aunt Betty. She's not she's coming up as Facebook user. Hi, Aunt Betty. I knew this show would be great. Thank you.
Thank you for connecting us, Aunt Betty.
Yes, thank you, Aunt Betty. It was so cute. I still have the text message. You have to contact her. She's a certified laughter leader. Yeah, very grateful. This is a very important episode. I knew it would be excited too.
Yeah.
John says, I met this guy on a cruise and he is a comedian who now uses laughter for healing too. Laughter Clinic Australia on Facebook. I used laughter and comedy when working with kids with a disability to break the ice and help deal with behavioral issues. Also, silly hats and t-shirts. Love the topic. Yeah. John, I'm so glad you're here. It's got to be like some crazy hour your time. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, here Heidi has one of your little laughing pills. Oh, I bought it from my husband at the rehab hospital for physical injuries. I use it more than him.
Great.
Toby's requesting if you would talk about how you exited the cancer treatment center.
Oh, Toby, you're watching. You know, she knows this story. Yeah, I went out with very mixed feelings because my position was eliminated. They had been through a number of rounds of layoffs. And so, you know, have you ever said, instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening for me? And I was leaving because it was opening up other opportunities. But anyhow, so I rode out on Chuckles. Last day, I have it on video. I dressed, I went to work that last day in my cowgirl outfit with my Western shirt, my cowgirl hat, my boots, and my horse. And I rode galloping and neighing out of the hospital. Yeah, it was so quite memorable. So I was with a few close people from the hospital who kind of galloped along with me. And we were just laughing our heads off and got to the door and then just had this big group hug and sobbed. But, you know, it's like, it's mixture. And then it all goes together. But anyhow, Chuckles has been yes, Toby has met Chuckles. Toby has Toby, I'm glad you're with us. And thanks for that reminder.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
I have a stuffy with a laugh track in it as it rolls on the floor like the laughter pill. It's awesome.
Yeah. And you know what? Even without all these other tools, I'm sorry,
No, please go. We've got
just to start your day with a smile. You know, I mean, I've picked this idea up from somebody years ago, and I don't always remember it every day, but I try to. Most days I do. Before I get out of bed, just smile.
That's a good idea.
It sets the tone for the day very differently from, I got to do this, or I got to do that, or I guess I just start with a smile.
Yeah, because a lot of us, like me, wake up and turn the news on. And that's nothing to smile about.
Nah, I don't watch the news. I don't.
I've stopped watching as much, but there's really, I told my husband just this morning, I'm like, there's not a single positive thing on the news these days. Nothing. Not a single, well, I mean, a little bit, but
I know. Yeah.
Oh, my mother's saying I added a year to their age. Bring on the red nose. Sorry, Mom.
You're younger than she thought.
Sorry, I couldn't do the math in my head, Mom.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
But remember the part I said you have fun and you play? Remember that part, not the age part.
Yeah.
Sandy Montgomery says she loves this episode. I'm so glad.
So glad. Yeah.
Ho, ho, ha, 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 Kath.
Oh, Megan. Another laughter leader who ran and still does, actually. She's the laughter lady now out in the community. Also worked with me for many years at CTCA, Cancer Treatment Centers, also left. And now has her own laughter business also. It's just
awesome.
Great, Megan. Laughter is kind of like letting your sense of humor jump on the bed. Okay.
That's good. I like that. Horizontal laughter is kind of like letting your sense of humor jump on the bed. I love that. Love that. So Julia wants to know, where do you get the laughing pill?
You know, I got mine through the World Laughter Tour. They sell some laughter objects, but somebody else who was in the chat got it. I forgot where she said, but somewhere else. So I'm sure there are other places too, but yeah.
Here's the website for World Laughter Tour, you guys. Yeah. And again, I'll have all these links in the after
It's not super expensive.
We're getting, oh gosh, such great. Oh, this is a good idea, Christina. Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh, I have one, but it's at my office. I do have the Tickle Me Elmo also. Oh my gosh, I just put new batteries in mine recently. It's old. But
It
it's
is
so,
old.
and you know what? Some of the kids, I work with kids and adults in my therapy office, and some of the kids just think it's really weird. It's like, why do you have this? But some of us
Remember what
older
a big
people
hit
really,
that was? Like, they were impossible to get that one Christmas.
yeah, yeah.
You gave us a couple, or you gave me a couple of other links to show if I can get them to work.
Yes, yes. AATH, Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor. Please check it out, people. There's so much good there. I have made so many good lifelong friends and colleagues through that organization. That's where, remember, if we go back to the guy who said he'd help me set up or start a laughter program with the hospital,
Yeah.
he told me about AATH. That was probably in the fall of 2003. I started going to their annual conference the next year and have gone every year since. It's been online the last couple of years because of COVID, but except for one year when I was in Thailand at the time of the conference. Actually, Megan did my presentation that year at the conference but I was in Thailand passing out red noses to as many people as I could while I was there. So they've been around the world, but there's a lot of fun and there's a lot of serious research too going on with people in AATH. It's great.
Amazing. It really
So the
is.
conference moves every year and it's scheduled to be in Florida next March, and hopefully it's going to be live again.
How many certified laughter leaders are there in the world? Do you know?
Thousands.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can find them various places like hospitals or private practice or just like all over?
Yeah. And you know what? The World Laughter Tour website, last I knew, they probably still do have kind of a locator for if you want to see if there's a certified laughter leader in your area where you live.
I happen to know one, actually.
Oh,
I don't know if that's right. I know a certified laughter leader. What's the difference between the certified laughter leader and the certified humor? What was the other one?
oh, professional.
Yeah.
Well, the certified laughter leader credential I got through World Laughter Tour to lead laughter programs. The certified humor professional credential I got through AATH, actually the other organization there. It's a 3-year study program studying kind of the science behind humor and laughter, and you have to do a project and give a presentation and so forth. So it's kind of linked to the annual conference, and then there's a year-long program with monthly meetings that go on in between. So anyhow, it's a different kind of thing.
Okay.
Not just a 2-day program, but it's fun. But check out AATH. So many great people. Actually, I was just this week, a day or two ago, talking with somebody from AATH that I wanted to connect to you, Lauren, because she's a nurse case manager in a chronic pain clinic out in California.
Oh, wow.
And I thought you might want to talk with her. Mary Laskin is her name, but
Yeah.
it was so enjoyable because as I was talking with her, I was telling her, and I told you too, Lauren, one of the things that brought me so much joy and delight during the pandemic was going on these daily walks. I live very close to a cemetery, which is a big, beautiful park, and I started going just for exercise, but I ended up sinking deeper and deeper into the beauty of nature and carrying a camera and taking all kinds of pictures, including some humorous ones and some very serious ones.
Yeah, she's shared with me some of her pictures, and we're going to share them in the group because they're just phenomenal. They're
well,
your eye and attention. You can tell you're just very mindful when you take those because you're pointing these things out to me in these photos, which are just glorious.
Well, thank you. It's brought me, talk about joy and delight. But anyhow, the last, I don't know, 6 weeks, I don't remember, for a while recently, I've had some significant hip pain. I've not been able to do my daily walks. And I've thought, oh no, what am I going to do? Well, it's given me a chance to sit and sort out all my photos and dump the ones I don't need to keep while I'm sitting there not being out walking. But I was talking with Mary, who's also a certified laughter leader and humor professional and a pain management nurse, all those things. And I said, I have had a lot of trouble finding the humor in my recent hip pain. I'm not finding anything funny about it, and I'd like to laugh about it. Yeah. So we laughed a couple of times. She got me laughing about it. So once she said, well, while you're not out walking, you could be riding an exercise bike, and that would really help rebuild the strength in that hip. I said, oh, you mean that clothes rack in my bedroom?
A lot of us can relate to that, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh. And there was another one, it may pop in my mind, I can't remember right now, but it was just it's like, "Thank you. You gave me some humor about this situation right now," and I loved it. So it was
What do you recommend for people that are having just a really tough time seeing past their pain? And maybe they're not with other people where laughter might come a little easily. What other tips might you have to help people laugh?
well,
I
going
mean,
back to the
we talked about
smile,
the
start with the
smile.
smile,
Yeah.
hold it long enough to change the brain chemistry. Really, I
It
mean,
worked.
you might
It worked.
feel silly, but it really
Okay,
works.
this is the thumbnail for this episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
I had a
works
straw
though.
here to show you. Yeah, it
That's a good
has.
tip.
But, if you have some things like your laughter kit, and you don't even have to laugh, if you can smile and find something that brings you some kind of delight, it's sort of like giving yourself permission. And you know
Yes,
what? You don't have to do it all the time.
right.
Maybe you feel like crying rather than laughing. And there's healthy chemistry in crying too. I mean, the tears that we shed when we cry from emotional pain have a different chemical makeup than the tears we cry when we peel an onion. They're different. And
Really?
yes, yep, there's
Huh.
research on that too. So it's actually a very healthy release if we're emotional to cry it out. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have apologized to me in therapy sessions if they're crying. "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Bring it on." I mean, it's so healthy.
I
So
stopped doing that, and I keep telling people when they do that in my presence that you don't need to apologize for crying. It's a
right.
beautiful thing. It shows your
It's
humanity.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, I'm not saying laugh at everything, laugh all the time.
yeah.
Laugh when you can. Um, You don't have to the other thing I was gonna mention, this is a quote from one of my dear friends in ATH, "You don't have to be funny, but see funny."
Oh,
L
I love that.
Look for the humor around you. You might I mean, you saw some of the photos. I mean, I saw this squirrel up on a tree with a pine cone sideways in its mouth. I swear it looks like that squirrel has a cigar in its mouth. It cracked me up. Now,
I will
somebody
definitely
else
be
might
sharing
look
these
at it and
photos with
not think it's funny, or the little
the
duckling
yeah, the duckling, I was gonna say that.
that's not I'm saying that's duck yoga. Now, a duck was just stretching maybe, but it's
Yeah,
posed there with its so see the funny. I mean, I might have, the heron with a bad hair day because it's, like, leaning over, grooming itself, and its feathers are all poked at. Like, to me, that's hilarious. It might not be to
yeah,
somebody else. So find what brings you a smile, some delight, some joy, and even if you could just get a little chuckle,
yeah.
that's okay too.
Those
Um,
brief moments where you forget about
yes.
your pain or your troubles if you're not in pain, it really,
Yeah, yeah.
really helps. Oh, look who's here. Gabby's here. Gabby is the, music specialist we're gonna have on in a couple
Oh,
weeks.
awesome.
My laugh is contagious. Well, thank you.
Yes, that's the best kind of
Thank you.
contagion, I'll keep saying it. Um, Sometimes fun, think of fun, but think of play. Sometimes wordplay is I grew up in a household that used puns a lot, so I enjoy wordplay.
Puns are a big thing I've noticed in the group. People are talking about saying, "I love puns."
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that I mean, you could have some fun with that without ho, ho, ho laughing, but it'll distract your mind from pain or other things. So, or playing with or exaggeration, maybe you take your pain and you exaggerate it. My hip hurts so much, I like whatever. I don't even know. Fell off my stick horse riding and that's what happened to my hip. I don't know. Or just like, I've told my doctor 10 million times about this. So I don't know. Sometimes exaggeration can be just a fun way to play,
yeah,
play with your pain, play with your sorrows, and not always. Sometimes we need to grieve too. We need
yeah,
to grieve and cry, and that's okay too. That's just fine.
yeah, okay.
Um,
So
yeah.
when somebody comes to you, you're, the Oasis process, that is your,
That's the name of my private practice. It's
okay,
basically helping people find an inner oasis. If you've ever been crossing a desert and sometimes um, going through a lot of pain physically and or emotionally can feel like we're in a desert. We're like,
right.
so, you know how sometimes there's a mirage if you're driving. I don't know if you've driven through deserts, but I have. I grew up in the Southwest, and it keeps looking like, it looks like there's water ahead, but then there's not, and it looks like, anyhow. So there, it's sort of like I'm helping people find their own inner oasis amidst the desert that could be their pain, their sorrow, their just challenges, whatever. So that's the basic, finding the inner oasis is what I'm helping people do. That's where that comes from. So
kind of like what we try to do in Attitude of Gratitude.
Absolutely. It totally fits.
Obviously we cannot cure our conditions. Doesn't mean we give up hope, but we cannot, what we do in the group, at least, we don't solve chronic pain. We just help people to try to learn to deal with it better. And I offer these broadcasts. You could take tips from each one and maybe apply it to your life. And gosh, this one sure has been, oh my gosh, I just looked at the time. It's been an hour already. I have so much more I want to ask you about. I'm curious about the tears, though. So you said the tears when you cry and peel an onion. What about the tears when you laugh?
I'm gonna, that's a good question. I don't know if I've read about that. I'm going to assume that that's also going to be related to the same same chemical makeup of the tears that we release when we're crying emotions. I don't think it's the onion peeling tears when we laugh.
That is so interesting. Let's see if we have any last questions here. I will definitely do it. Proven that there is such a thing as tears of joy. This program is great. Big hit. Maybe we ought to have a prompt in the AOG about sharing something that made you smile. Yes, we actually do have one of those hidden somewhere, but that may be a good one for tomorrow.
Great.
Facebook users, you are a delight. I totally agree. And somebody else has a tickle me Elmo. Mary has a tickle me Elmo. There was, I feel like there was one last thing I was going to ask you. The health benefits. We talked about the health benefits. There's studies showing that it can boost your immune system.
Can help support it. Yeah, for sure.
When somebody comes to you at the Oasis process, like you do one-on-one, how do you help them to find laughter? I assume when they come to you, they're in pretty, they're not in a great place.
Anxiety and depression. I give laughter presentations as just part of something I do and have done over the years, but I don't automatically try to make people laugh in my office when they're coming for psychotherapy. But
that'd be kind of awkward,
because I'm open to it and people can feel that we do end up smiling and laughing. Most people end up being able to do that. And the kids who come were like all over the map. I just laughing like crazy usually. But sometimes I think if people realize that I can give them permission to laugh about hard stuff and be a little bit silly about it, once they sense if I'm open to that, which I am more just because of all the experiences I've had over these years. Thank you to the patient who started me on that journey. As I'm more open to it, I think other people are too. So
I like that permission.
It's permission to play, permission to laugh, permission to smile, permission to play with our pain, whether it's physical pain or emotional pain.
Right. Everybody's got some kind of a pain. We have a pain, but also pain.
Everybody does.
You had one more link that you talked about, escapeadulthood.com.
Oh, yes. And you know what? They these people, Kim and Jason Kotecki, here's a book that they published. They have a newer one. Sorry, I keep going the wrong way. Penguins Can't Fly, and 39 Other Rules That Don't Exist. They're out to eliminate adultitis. You say this stuff with such a straight face. It makes me laugh. Yeah. Adultitis, a chronic condition occurring in people between the ages of 21 and 121, marked by chronic dullness, mild depression, moderate to extremely high stress levels, general fear of change, and in some cases, inability to smile. So they offer some serious stuff too, but lots of fun. So I was thinking, they have a store online, just like the World Laughter Tour does. If you're looking for some fun things, oh shoot, I probably don't have a Marty in front of me. They have these little penguins. I meant to have my Marty here.
The straight face you have when you say these things just makes me laugh. I'm sure it's because you've worked with it for years and you don't even think twice about it. Look for my Marty.
They have these little rubber penguins that I've gotten through them for years. I've got several of them around my house. I've got them in my office. I love them. My husband and I used it. This was a suggestion from them originally, to use it for have some fun around the house. Hide it from each other, you know, whoever's in your household. If there's more than one person, or hide it from yourself, maybe you'll forget where you put it. But you know, you might
Definitely.
find the penguin in the cereal box or in a whatever. So we've had fun, and now we don't do that anymore, but we just have a couple of them sitting around because they're fun. It took the kids in my office to show me that Marty actually comes apart and it's an eraser, which I didn't know, but
I
it's
think
just,
I might know what you're talking about. I feel like I've seen them before.
you know what? I have one that's right outside this room. I guess I just didn't have one here. I just show you. Should send you one. Anyhow, they're so much fun. It's just, so that's the escape adulthood. Like, don't think you can only ever wear socks that match or only ever eat your dessert at the end of the meal. You know, they'd say, wear unmatching socks and eat your dessert first.
Oh, you can't see my socks. I
Oh.
wear silly socks every day. These say eye rolling is my cardio.
Oh, I love it.
Which
Yeah,
actually doesn't fit me because I'm not like one of those real eye rolling people, but I got it as a gift from a friend. But I wear goofy socks every day with something.
I love fun socks too.
Yeah. They're a great way to brighten up the day. You know what else I do? And I know we need to go. I don't know if you can even see it. I spray glitter spray on my face. I feel like if I look shiny on the outside, it may help me to feel shiny on the inside.
There's another tip for people, you know, try all these things on for size. See what fits you. Everybody here, you know, find something that you can work with that makes you smile, because that's the point. You know, it doesn't have to, it's not one size fits all. Socks or smiles or
well, socks kind of are, but
well, they have fewer options, don't they? But
they do. You are delightful. I can't believe the hour went so fast. I knew it would. Dr. Katherine Puckett, thank you for being here. If you want to find out more about her, the oasisprocess.com. And the book that my Aunt Betty found her from is this wonderful book called Life Reimagined: The Science, Art, and Opportunity of Midlife. Really good book. Thank you, Aunt Betty, for the book and for
connecting us.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can have you back soon someday.
I love it.
Thank you, all of you who tuned in live and participated. Much appreciated. And for those of you that have yet to watch, thank you also. So we will see you next week. And I've got the people from Mini-Meds coming on, which is exciting.
Great.
And thank you again for being here, Katherine. It's much appreciated.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
Peace and love. Let's see if I remember to do the closing today. I never remember to do the closing. All right, here we go. Bye, gang.